All right, now we're at part 2, my friends. You should already have your patterned color wheel artwork ready to go. You should have 12 spaces ready, and now it is time to paint. So you're going to need your paint brush, you're going to need your little paint palette, and you will also need a little cup for water. A drinking glass would work just fine because this paint is non-toxic, but a bowl would work fine. But my biggest thing is, do not fill it up all the way with water. You are working near electronics, and I do not want you to accidentally spill this and ruin it. So please, a little bit of water. You do not need a lot. Okay, so painting. You can see that your tray of paint is set up like a color wheel. I gave you a round paint palette for a reason. So when you go to start mixing your colors, you can kind of work in a circle just like your color wheel. All right, so I'm going to actually start with the color yellow. Personally, I think that's the best color to start with because yellow is so light and it's very easy to mess it up by mixing different colors into it. So we want to make sure that we have this nice, beautiful yellow to get started with. So choose on your color wheel where you want to start with yellow. I think I want to do this one because in my Animal Crossing game, these music notes are yellow. So I'm going to go ahead, get started, and dip my brush in the water and swirl it on the paint. Now you can see it didn't really do much. It just kind of, made it a little bit more wet. So I'm just going to grab a whole bunch of water. I'm going to keep just dipping it on my yellow and kind of waking it up. All right, and I'm gonna swirl, swirl, swirl. Oh yeah, now we're getting some paint here. So you're gonna keep swirling and adding a little more water until your paintbrush has some paint on it. Once you do, come on over, and all you're going to do is paint in one of those sections. All right, get some more water as you need it. Paint, 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 paint. Now, be very careful because once you paint in a section, there's no going back. Now, I'm just working on a table and you can see that I'm getting paint on my table right now. So it might actually be a good idea to grab that plastic bag that you worked on earlier, that you could see all of those permanent marker marks on there. Those would have went on my table. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put my plastic bag down. So whenever I'm painting, that paint will not go on my table. All right, I have my first primary color done. All right, now once I'm done with my primary color, I need to start mixing some colors now, okay? On my color wheel, I can see that yellow green is next, and then green, blue-green, and blue. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and clean my brush really, really good. Really good, and I'm gonna start trying to mix some of those colors here. Instead of going just to yellow green, I might just go to green next. It's really up to you how you guys do this, but please try to keep your paint, your primary colors clean. That's your biggest thing, friends. Keep your primary colors clean. So I'm gonna swirl, 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 and maybe I'm just gonna bring some of this over here. I'm gonna keep adding some more water, bringing some water over, and making a nice little puddle of blue. All right, now I'm going to clean my brush really good. Really good, because I don't want that yellow to get discolored at all, okay? I'm going to swirl on my yellow, and now I'm going to mix it inside of that blue. Now, do you think that color looks like green? That's your question. Do you think it looks more like blue-green or yellow-green? It's really whatever you think, okay? I think that looks like a pretty good green. Let me test it on my paper. Yeah, that looks like a pretty good green. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna just say that that's my green in the middle there. And I'm gonna paint these money bags green. All right. If you need to stretch out the paint a little bit, just add a little bit more water. If you want your paint to be darker, you just have to use more paint. You can see this is really light right now. So if I wanted to, I could just add some more paint and make it a little bit darker. But make sure you fill in the whole area. All right, now that I did my green, I need to go backwards now. I need my yellow green. So I'm gonna go back and I need a color that's a little more yellow than this blue right here. So I'm gonna maybe just bring some of this over off to the side. Maybe I'll just kind of swirl these two together. Try to keep your yellow clean though, guys. All right, and there's some yellow green kind of mixing together. It's pretty close to yellow right now. Maybe I will go ahead and add a little more blue. And you are gonna go through your color wheel just like I'm doing right now and keep mixing colors, trying to get the right colors as you go. All right, that looks pretty good. I'll go ahead and paint that in now. All right, I'll see you guys back whenever you're done, but for now, work on starting with yellow and working down your color wheel through all of those colors. I did want to show you my finished color wheel before I set you guys on your way today. You can see I have all of my colors done. I have those primary colors, yellow, blue, and red. I have my secondary colors, green, purple, and orange. And I even have those tertiary colors or intermediate, which would be yellow orange, yellow green, blue violet, red violet, and red orange. So you can even see that my color wheel kind of shows up on my paint palette here. Look at that, so awesome. Now, before you get started, I did want to show you one last thing, which is what happens when your primary colors get all messed up. Oh my gosh, I got some blue in my red there, and I absolutely do not want that. So to clean your little color off there, you're just gonna get some fresh water. Mine's dirty, but get some fresh water, and you're just gonna paint over top of it. Just paint, 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 clean your brush, paint, 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 clean your brush, paint, 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 clean your brush. And that will get rid of any paint that I do not want. You could even get a napkin or something and kind of dry that up if you didn't want it leaking everywhere. All right, friends, I look forward to seeing your color wheels when you're all done. And yeah, let's get started.